Welcome everyone to another CTC webinar. Today we are going to go over a brand new tool in our BIM project suite called Sheet Assistant. And as always, these webinars are recorded and will be available on our YouTube channel to watch later at your convenience in the next couple of days. So with that, let's get started. So today, we're talking about our brand new tool. We're very excited about this tool, and it's called Sheet Assistant. So what this tool allows you to do is, it's all based on sheet setup. So traditionally, placing views on sheets, making sure that they're all aligned with each other, creating sheets, and making sure that they're consistent between the various different sheets so that when you do a page turn, the views aren't jumping all over the place. It can be a very time-consuming task and very, painful even, depending on the size of the project, the number of sheets, and the number of views that you have to work with. And there's a couple of tools in Revit that sort of help, and there's a couple of things that you can do that make it a little bit easier, but it's still a pretty painful task at times. So today, we are going to introduce you to a new tool that does exactly this. Helps you align views with each other, helps you create sheets and place views on those sheets, and in some cases even helps you create new views based off existing ones, and then allows you to create templates for future use. So what I hope to get across today for everyone is where to access the new Sheet Assistant app, what tool set is a part of, where can you find it in Revit, and then we're going to focus on three key areas. We're going to define view alignments on sheets, and a couple of quick and easy ways to go about doing that. We are going to generate a bunch of new sheets and place views on those sheets, whether it's an existing view or a new view. And then at the same time, we are also going to create a configuration file or a template so that it can be used on additional projects that you've got going simultaneously or for a future job later on down the road. Now, I'm not a big fan of PowerPoints, so this is the end of the PowerPoint, and now we are going to jump right in, and I'm going to show you this all live on screen. So here we go. Now, I'm going to start off by showing you and reminding you what a painful process this can be sometimes. Now, I've got a sheet here with nothing on it, and I want to go ahead and place a floor plan, maybe put a schedule on there. I need to put my general notes on there, and various other items. But I'm going to stick with those three. Keep it simple, but you should be able to get the idea. So I need to go find my floor plan, and what if the floor plan, was already on another sheet, right? And now I get the message saying that. So now I have to go back, grab a different one, and hope I'm right. So, and don't double click it, just press and drag, as you know. And then we get to go ahead and place it. We can nudge it and align it, get it to the position that I want. Then I can go ahead and find my notes. In this case, it's just a legend, so I'm just going to pop that guy down here. And then I've got a schedule that I want to insert as well. Put that there. Now, to get these in a position that you like and that makes sense, that in and of itself can take some time, especially if you've got 100 sheets. Right? Now, we have another free tool called View Aligner that can sort of assist with this. Revit has its built-in alignment views, but that only works on similar view types. So model views can do its thing. Schedules can line up with each other, but you can't line the two of them up together. So View Aligner, which is our free tool here, does help you with that. And now that's not the demo. I'm just doing it because they kind of go hand in hand in a way. So I can align across the top, I can align across the left. So now we got nice clean edges, right? Great, that's all there is there. But Now I'm happy, right? Now, what if I had to do that to 100 more sheets, or, let's say 50 more plan sheets, okay? That can take a lot of time, and I've already gone ahead and placed got a few set up, but, and the first ones, they look pretty good, but as I get down the line here, I start to get lazy, and then someone else set up some sheets and like they weren't even paying attention, and we've got stuff all over the place. Well, now I can use Sheet Assistant to effectively create a template and apply that to some of these sheets so that I don't have to try and eyeball it or draw reference lines or reference planes, for that matter, to get things to line up with each other, or use the guide grid in Revit that doesn't always do what we need it to. And even then, there's room for error there. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to close out a couple of these extra views here, and then we're going to use Sheet Assistant. So, and let's get rid of that one. So Sheet Assistant can be found in the BIM Project Suite. So if you go up in your ribbon tabs up here, you'll be looking for CTC software. And then the BIM Project Suite is our green shaded set of tools. And Sheet Assistant can be found right here in between Schedule Excel and Spreadsheet Link. And if you open up Sheet Assistant, you will see this is it. This is the layout. So there are two kind of different areas of the Sheet Assistant UI that help explain the workflow a little bit here. So on the left side, or in this case, third, the configuration tab and the sheet tab here, think of this as your source tab or your template tab, right? This is where we are going to base the positioning and the creation of views and or sheets down the road, right? So this is kind of your source location. The right side here is the destination. What's being modified? What are we creating? What are we manipulating? So, and that will be the target sheets if I'm updating stuff that's already in my model, or I can use the new sheet tab to go ahead and generate new sheets with title blocks and specific views based off a configuration that I've defined. Okay, so the first workflow I'm going to go over with you right now is view alignment. So I've got a sheet here, and I suppose another piece here is that, just real quick, this is a modeless app. I think I said that right, meaning I still have full access to the Revit file and the views behind the app. In a lot of cases with add-ins in Revit, when you open it and you fire it up, you're focused in on that app. You can't do anything else until you close the app, which then effectively unlocks Revit again. So in this case, with Sheet Assistant, it's not blocking my access to the Revit file. So I can go ahead and pan and zoom around and, rearrange my window so I can see what's going on here. I can switch views. I could actually still continue to draw stuff or annotate my views, or, put in additional information into my sheets if I needed to, if you happen to notice something on the fly. So what I'm going to do is set up my sheet, my source sheet or my template sheet, to push the alignment or the placement of views to some of these other enlarged sheets that I have over here. So first thing I'm going to do is switch to my sheet tab, and you can see it's showing me the 3 views that are currently on a sheet. Which sheet? Well, I don't know. So I can actually, it doesn't tell you, but whichever one you pick on from the little small dialog box up here is what the preview is going to show you, okay? So in this case, I laid out sheet A200B, and I am happy with this positioning. So I'm going to use that sheet as my template, basically, okay? And now there's a handful of other sheets over here that I want to effectively apply this placement to. So the first thing I want to do is define how I want my views aligned with each other, right? Do I want left, right, or I mean, I'm not left, right, left top, left bottom, right top, right bottom, or right center, or, you know, center top, you know, whatever the case may be. So I have the ability to select the view in this preview pane here and select left, center, right for the horizontal justification. And then the in turn, I can specify the vertical justification. So in this case, I kind of like the lower left here for my floor plan. And then I'm going to click on this view up here. And if you hover long enough, it'll tell you what it is. You get a little tooltip that pops up. So in this case, this is my schedule, and it's right up against the edge of my sheet. So I'm going to set this up to be a top right justify or alignment position, so that, you know, if there are more doors in one view than in another view or in schedule, then it'll populate downward and it'll kind of maintain this as its fixed corner. And then last but not least, I have my general notes down here at the bottom. And same thing, I'm going to select that here. And I'm going to set this to be a right bottom. Okay. And it, again, it'll tell you that it's a legend view and what the name of it is and what scale it's at if that's necessary, if it's needed. Okay. So now there we have it. I've defined my alignments. Now I need to define the sheets that are the sheets that I want to modify, right? So on the target sheets tab here, I need to select all of the sheets that I want to apply this to. So I am going to go ahead and select all of these enlarged sheets with the exception of the one that I based it on. So 200B was my template. So I'm going to grab A, 200A, 201A, B, all the way down the line here until I've got all of them. Then I'm going to hit select all, verify that they were all selected. Everything looks right. We've got floor plans, I've got notes, I've got schedules, and then you click apply. And it'll take a couple seconds, but what it's doing is it's rearranging my views to match the setup that I had here. Now, if you remember, you know, sheet 204, A and B were pretty bad. If I go, you know, get this out of the way here and switch to 204A, you can see that it now matches what 200B was exactly. You know, and if I go ahead and tile my views here quick and do a zoom extents on all of these, you can see that all of these sheets now match. They're all exactly the same. And that took, you know, really it probably took me 30 seconds to set up and another 5 seconds to sit and wait. Right now, granted, not a large project, you know, not complicated views with a lot of detail, but still, right? You know, that potentially could have taken me 30 minutes to do that on my own. And, you know, if I was really picky, print a set out, through my page turn, notice that they're not quite aligned, go back and adjust it, do it again. You know, that potentially could have taken some time. It all depends on, you know, how picky you are, or, you know, how much that kind of thing bothers you. I have a couple of coworkers that would bother them a lot. So I won't mention any names, Sean. So at any rate, that's alignment, right? The view alignment piece. Nice and easy, quick and simple. And then if you want, if you use this as your standard layout across multiple projects, and that's kind of like your, you know, company standard, you can save this as its own configuration and load that up at any time and apply it to the various sheets in your project. And you can have a number of these set up for your overall plan sheets where maybe it's just a floor plan, but you're doing it 100 times, or you've got a legend or a schedule or another, maybe some detail views if you've got room, right? You can have various configurations set up for the various types of sheet layouts that you would put in place. And this will work with anything: floor plan, elevation, section, drafting view, schedule, legend. I mean, you name it, you get it. And you will be able to use the alignment tools on it. So the next item that I'm going to highlight for you guys here today is how to create a new sheet and put views on the new sheet. And I'm going to use the configuration that I already have here because I like it, and I'm just going to do reflected ceiling plans of the same layout, A and B, right? So I've got the views created. I've got views created already in this case. If I go to my ceiling plans, here they are. But I don't have sheets, right? They're supposed to be part of my A400 series, and I don't have any of those. So I need to go ahead and generate those sheets, and then at the same time, add the views that I want to those sheets, and then make sure that they're positioned exactly the same as my template. So I'm going to jump to the New Sheet tab. I'm going to click on New Sheet, and another window will pop up allowing me to specify the title block I want to use. And then I can populate sheet number and sheet name. And if there's additional fields that you want to bring in, for example, you have a specific sorting mechanism that you use in your browser to sort it by discipline, or you have a discipline sort order parameter that you use, or whatever the case may be, we can always add additional fields to this, right? So is it a sheet sort order parameter that you use, or, is it by phase, or, are you making a setup based on revisions? Or you have options, right? So any parameter that you add will be visible here. I'm just going to keep it simple again, and we're going to do sheet number and just sheet name. So I'm going to do A400A, one lower level RCP so that it fits. And I'm going to do a couple of these. So 100 and A401. A401B, and we'll do one more, 402 and 402, B. All right, and then I need to name these, so we're going to do this, and main level RCP, copy that down. All right, and there you have it. So now I'm going to hit create. The app is going to go ahead and generate the sheets for me. And actually what it's done is, if we scroll down to our sheet list, it actually just got done creating these sheets as well. So really I could stop here if I wanted to. Maybe the views aren't ready for whatever reason. But mine are. So I'm going to get ready to do this. So in this case, I am looking for a floor plan, a legend, and a schedule. Okay. So I have a couple of different ways to go about doing this. If I'm in the earlier stages of my project setup, I can duplicate the source drawing and give it specify a particular template to duplicate it based on, and then put a naming suffix on there. So say I did have, was setting up, say, code plan sheets. I could duplicate this view and use my floor plan code plan template to help set it up and name things accordingly. In this case, I am changing gears completely, and I'm only using the layout, but to generate reflected ceiling plans. So I'm not duplicating anything. I will simply be placing an unplaced view on my sheet. So this will show me a list of only views that are currently not on a sheet, and I can go ahead and select the views that I want. And then for the legend, it's my general notes. I'm going to go ahead and keep the original here. And for my schedule, I am going to place a different view here. And it will show me schedules. And I'm going to do my light fixture schedule in this case. Okay, so that's the first sheet. And I'm just going to do a couple more here quick. And we'll set this one up to be area B. And keep original. And this one we're going to replace, with my fixture schedule. Okay, and then I can keep going. I'm just going to do one more so that you don't have to sit here and watch me the entire time. We'll do ceiling plan level 1. We are going to keep that, and we are going to place a new schedule for light fixtures. And boom, there we go. So those are the 3 sheets that I've set. I am happy with this. They all look good. Do a quick once over. All right. Now I'm going to click apply. And what's happening now is Sheet Assistant is taking the views that I've defined, placing them on the sheets that I had defined them within, and matching their alignment to the template configuration that I had created. So if I remember what it's supposed to look like here, if I go ahead and open up sheet 400A, and of course it's doing the tiling again, so let me untile this. There we go. B. And there we go. So you can see that it's doing what I told it to, because I actually, I am now noticing that I did not update my alignment settings properly. So you can see, and you may have been thinking this to yourself, that that doesn't quite look right. And you're right, it doesn't. And that's because I told it to do something, and it did exactly what I told it to do. It aligned everything to the lower left. And that's not what I was expecting it to do, but it is what I told it to do. So that's exactly what it did. So now I can go back and change these to be what I thought I did. I must have clicked a button to change that because it changed. And go ahead and do that, and then grab my target sheets. So again, we had these 3. Select all, click apply, and now I'm getting what I expected to see. But again, that was my mistake for hitting reset or something along those lines. Now, speaking of reset, if I wanted to change gears and work with a different set of sheets or a different type of sheet with different alignment of views and a different collection of views, I can simply just hit reset, and it will clear everything out and bring me back to the original launchable state so that I can continue on and work with wall sections or work with elevations or interior elevations for that matter. So it effectively just kind of allows you to hit the ground and keep going. So Sheet Assistant, wonderful tool for giving you the opportunity to quickly align views based off a configuration, or create new sheets and potentially even new views based off of a particular configuration. Now, you could, in theory, run this on a project that needed hundreds of sheets, or hundreds, if not thousands, of views created for it. But there are faster ways even to do it than this, and that would be with a combination of tools that we offer. If I were to go through and set up a project that did need 100, some 400 sheets, let's say, and then another 1,000 views to go along with it, I would probably use a combination of spreadsheet link to build that list of sheets really quickly. I would then use View Creator to generate all of those plans, elevations, and dependent views. And then I would use Sheet Assistant to get them placed on my sheets in the appropriate in the appropriate layouts. So I hope that was, enough to get you guys going, to get you interested in the app, and to download it, try it, and see what you think. Some of you may already have this tool in your BIM Project Suite, and I want to point out for those that already own this CTC BIM Project Suite that this was brand new with our 23.0 release. If you have 22.0.6, you will need to update to the latest version, and you will be able to do that by clicking About of any app. It doesn't, I did it from Sheet Assistant, but you can do it from any of the CTC apps in the suite. And note what the version is. If you have 23.0, or in my case 23.1, you've already got it. If you are on 22.0 point something, then you have the option to download the latest installer. You will be brought to our website where you can go ahead and download the latest version, install it, and then you've got access to the tool. So at this point, that concludes my presentation. I want to say thank you very much for attending today. We do appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in future CTC webinars.